Okay, time for some sports, and I'm joined by three-time heavyweight boxing world champion Lennox Lewis and his wife Violet. They're hosting a Canadian summer boxing camp fundraiser next week in Oakville in support of the Lennox Lewis League of Champions Foundation, which works to empower at-risk youth. They're joining us now in studio. Thanks very much for being here, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Why don't we start with, can you tell us a little bit about the foundation and what it does?
Definitely. The Lennox Lewis League of Champions Foundation is dedicating to inspiring the next generation of champions, not just in the ring of boxing, but in the ring of life. So we utilize boxing as an incentive and an engagement tool, and we provide after-school activities and summer programs for children who typically do not have the accessibility for those types of services.
Awesome. So the fundraiser in Oakville that's coming up, tell me a little bit about that, what people can expect and how that money will benefit the foundation.
So what people can expect is that we have children signed up between the ages of 10 to 18, and they learn the fundamentals of boxing along with life skills. That's one of our most important aspects of camp. We have critical thinking skills. We have different activities to make sure that the children leave there understanding that there are different ways to navigate situations. So you learn boxing, you have life skill sessions, and you get to train with the man himself and a group of awesome trainers.
Which has got to be a huge draw. Lennox, I'm wondering, what's it like working with these kids, and is it hard for kids to pick up boxing?
Let me tell you, it's easy to learn boxing, and a lot of the kids don't realize how easy it is. And learning boxing, it really gives them a good sense of being, because people think boxing is so hard, and really it's just technical skills you have to remember, and it's really straightforward. And I love the faces and the way how they feel afterwards after learning the sport. So it gives me great pleasure.
That's great, and I mean, it's got to give them great pleasure to work with a person of your standing who knows the skills so well.
Yeah,
There's got to be quite the reception.
It is. You know, boxing is way down in Ontario and Canada, and there's a lot of kids out there that, you know, they're not going to be hockey players, not going to be football players, but a lot of them can train as boxers and be great boxers as well.
And it's great that, you know, it's a sport that I don't think nowadays people think of as a first sport to put their kids into. You know, it's become more soccer, hockey, basketball, but there's some important life lessons that you can use this sport to teach.
Oh, absolutely. The discipline of boxing is such a big sport. Anybody that wants to get fit or get some discipline, they always go to boxing or any fighting sports, judo, karate, anything like that. Boxing is a great sport because it doesn't matter how much you get hit, you still end and shake the person's hand. So that's the discipline you have to learn as well, and the discipline of getting up in the morning early, the discipline of training, and all these things, you know, build good character for a young kid, and you know, makes them more
ready and prepared for their next phase of life. And you asked earlier, how does this translate for us? So what happens is, after we have camp here, the proceeds, then we are immediately in Jamaica, and we have our outreach camps there where all the services that were provided here are provided there for free. And it's a different entity altogether, because you see children show up without shoes. You know, some of the basic things that you take for granted that are here, they show up because there's nothing else to do. So the wonderful side of this is also seeing the smiles, and then they leave there knowing that their circumstances don't define who they are, because they also have examples such as Lennox here, whose situation did not define him. He just decided to use the sport to put that into practice. Discipline, any job you decide to have, any career, you need to have discipline and focus, and boxing actually instills that in a way that I find that once you start, there's that adrenaline to just keep going.
Wow. Well, it sounds like a great foundation. You guys are doing great work. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having
us. And
there
is that fundraiser in Oakville next week if you are interested.